What's going on, YouTube? How you guys doing with the COVID-19? I actually put together a bit of a schedule for myself, and that's kind of helped me out, including this time just to film for YouTube. Today I actually put together a list of my top 10 returning quarterbacks for the 2020 season. So we're gonna talk about that. First things first, though, just some ground rules on it. The people who, or the quarterbacks that didn't play last year, didn't start at all last year, they're not gonna be included. So like the returning freshmen, like Spencer Rattler, he wouldn't be included. And then also the incoming freshmen aren't going to be included. So like Young for Alabama, he's not going to be included. So we're going to get into it. You guys don't forget to check out my other stuff. Give me a comment, a like, and then also subscribe if you're new to the channel. So let's get into it. So first off, I'm going to start at the top again, just to kind of add intrigue towards the bottom. I think we all know who I'm going to put at the top. Trevor Lawrence, amazing quarterback for Clemson, led them to the national title last season. He did a very good job. He kind of reminds me of a Peyton Manning, just the way that he's built. Not so much the pregame audibles and stuff like that, but just the way that he's built. Next, we got my boy Justin Fields. He's actually from, they're both like 20 minutes. Like where they played in high school was like 20 minutes for me. Trevor Lawrence, of course, is like 5 minutes for me. But Justin Fields, he transferred out to Ohio State and balled out his first season. He retains most of his weapons. And also gets my boy Trey Sermon. But I think Justin Fields can, of course, throw it over. I think these are going to be the two main Heisman candidates unless someone sneaks in. Just the Heisman favorites going into the season for sure. So up next, with a breakout season at UNC, Sam Howell. Really, since he put his name on the map when they played Clemson and they only won by 1 point. UNC looked really good. Mac Brown's doing a great job keeping kids in state over there as well. They're doing really good recruiting this season. So I feel like they're on the rise, but it's still a basketball school, so it's like, you know. But they're definitely on the rise. The Carolinas are becoming more dominant in football than basketball, which is very interesting to see. Next, we got Harji Sam Ehlinger, the Texas quarterback. He is a senior. I think the arm talent's not amazing. He has gotten better every year. His first season was terrible, but he's progressively gotten better. I think he can continue to develop. But what's really interesting about him is the way that he leads his team, the way that Texas kind of just is around him. And he grew up a Texas fan. You see the little baby photo with the horns up, and it's like this man was bred for this position. So I think Sam Ehlinger is a leader for Texas. I think that's what makes him different. What puts him on this list, because based off his arm talent, I'd probably put him lower. That, and he can scramble. He has the ability to do the power run. He's just got to work on those turnovers, work on making smart decisions. And I feel like if they're going to run him that much, he's not going to last very long. So they got to stop doing the quarterback powers, because he's not Cam Newton. He seems to me like a Tim Tebow type. And so then we're going to go on to our next quarterback. Another guy from Texas is D'Eriq King. King transferred to Miami this offseason from Houston. He sat out most of last season. But I'm basing this more off what he did his first year, and he balled out. He is definitely a dual threat quarterback to the max. Going somewhere bigger like Miami is definitely going to help him. They have big tight ends over there. They have, athletes at wide receiver. So as long as the O-line, because the O-line was young last year and they got their quarterback killed. Go back and watch that Florida game. That guy was getting murdered. So if he wins the job over there, D'Eriq King can definitely ball out in the Miami system. Next is kind of a under-the-radar guy, Brady White. He balled out last season for Memphis. He was 4th in passing yards. Everyone above him, of course, went into the league. 33 touchdowns and a pretty good 165 rating on the QBR. So I think he can be a baller this season as well if he continues to develop. Maybe even sneak into that Heisman finalist position. But it is Memphis, so that, they will be doubted. Next up, we got Kyle Trask, the Florida quarterback. He came on the scene and balled out last year. Behind that great Florida defense can make a title run. I feel like if they can beat Georgia, then they're definitely going to be in the SEC championship, because they have a weak schedule that also plays towards Kyle Trask's ability to throw the ball, because those SEC defenses are no joke. Next, we got my boy Hank the Tank from Boise State, the Boise State quarterback. I ain't going to try and say that last name, but he's a stud. Came in against Florida State, balled out, man. He was dropping dimes against Florida State. Only played half the season, but just based off mostly I watched a film from that Florida State game and just saw him ball out against a talented defense. Florida State is also going to be on the rise this coming season, but we'll talk about that later. Bringing back Boise State to its Idaho glory days. Next up, we got Bo Nix, who did a decent job. He turned over the ball over a good bit, but that's going to happen being a young quarterback in the SEC. He looked amazing against Oregon. If he can build on that, I think he can do nothing but get better from there. Last dude, Ian Book, just based off, what he's done in his college career. It was really hard to pick the 10 spot. I had a bunch of names. I really like Alan Bowman. I think he's going to ball out, but just based off what he's done, I couldn't put him in there. Charlie Brewer is just another name. I feel like he's not that good, just because we destroyed him in the Big 12 championship. There's Shane Buechele, who did ball out for SMU, put them back on the map last season. I think Jamie Newman's going to be great for Georgia this season, but based off what he's done, I couldn't put him on the top 10 list. And then my last guy, who it really came down to, was Caden Slavis for USC. Between those two, I was like, I'll take the guy that's played more, so put Slavis at my 11th spot just because the way that he came in for USC and took over the team. Put a chip on his shoulder as well because he wasn't as recruited as their starter was. So, but back to Ian Book, man. He's just a game management quarterback. He did have 34 touchdowns on just 6 interceptions last season, so that's phenomenal. They played Georgia, and he kept it tight. I think he throws to his tight ends as much as he possibly can, and then gets the long ball when it's there. I think if they would have spread that field a little bit better against Georgia, they would have won that game. But they wanted to stick to the tight ends, and it was working, to be honest. So, but that's my top 10. You guys comment your top 10 below. Who I should change up. Who should I rise? Who should I put lower? And then, so soon here, I'm going to put out my projected top 10 for the next year, which I will put Spencer. I might put Young on. We'll see where that one goes. Comment other positions you want to see this for. I want to do tailbacks and maybe an edge rush. Also, we're going to try and make a video on LSU, the projection for next season, as well as Ohio State for my boy. So a lot of content coming, so make sure and comment, like, subscribe.